Next, we have Devon Dramann. He's a grad student, second year studying global health epidemiology. If she were to identify as a vegetable, it would be kale. Take it away, Devon.
Great. Hi, everyone. I'm Devon. Full disclosure that I am by no means a jellyfish expert, merely a hobbyist. I first became interested in jellyfish when I came across this book through a summer reading bingo through my old library. I now have a bit of a jellyfish obsession. I love them. We are so intimately connected and affected by them. So I'll be succinct today and I'll talk really fast, but I encourage everyone watching to spend some time getting familiar with the intersectionality of jellyfish blooms and climate change and how this is affecting human health and economics and our food chains. So 1,500 species of known identified jellyfish exist, and they come in many shapes and sizes. My focus today will be on the edible medusa stage that many jellyfish have. It's kind of like the quintessential like blob that moves through the ocean like this. And they are one of the oldest organisms on the planet. They're more than 550 million years old. And while other creatures have evolved tails and lungs and, became bipeds, jellyfish have largely stayed exactly the same because they're perfect. And they're a weed of the sea in that they're resilient, they're opportunistic, and they are prolific. And so jellyfish they have a broad salinity tolerance, and they can consume anything and everything in a water column, from adult fish to fish eggs to larvae to even microscopic plankton, which of course has a huge effect on our food chain. And so, like I said, jellyfish are prolific reproducers. They participate in hermaphrodism, cloning, external fertilization, self-fertilization, fission, and a process called strobilation. And some even postulate that jellyfish are immortal. And so some species can produce 10,000 offspring a day. And so obviously jellyfish outcompete almost anything because they're efficient movers, they're faster growers, and they're better baby makers than basically any marine competition, right? And humans have moved jellyfish around in our ship's ballast waters for centuries. So they're an invasive species almost everywhere. And they sting beachgoers, as we know, at tourist destinations. They clog cooling systems and cause blackouts. They cause mass mortalities in our salmon farms and other fisheries. We're talking effects on every corner of the earth, and we're talking millions of dollars in damage. And we have no solution to jellyfish drifting because they're just casually drifting on the most gentle water intake. They don't have control over it, and we have no control over their reproduction. And so now that I've made them your enemy, I want to talk about them as a food. Aquatic food harvesting is the largest traded food commodity in the world. We already catch more jellyfish globally than we catch of tuna, than we catch of scallops, or even mackerel. So obviously we're not even scraping the surface of perturbing jellyfish populations. They're doing awesome. This is the opposite of how most other aquatic species that we farm are doing, right? Like aquatic ecosystems have continuously endured rapid changes due to our overfishing, human pollution, climate change because of humans. So obviously climate resilient food systems, particularly aquatic, are an important topic. And of course, we've already established that humans cannot feed our growing world population with beef and poultry. We already know that. And jellyfish is already being presented actually in sustainable food symposiums alongside crickets and other foods that pack a powerful protein punch, right? So consumption of jellyfish is documented as far back as 232 AD in China, and traditionally it's been consumed in many southeastern countries. However, Western culture has been slow to accept jellyfish as anything but a novel food item. Jellyfish is a potential solution for food justice because it's very affordable. It can be found at so many markets, and when preserved correctly, jellyfish can actually have a shelf life of up to 2 years, which, if you think about it, is significantly longer than any primary protein sources in this country. And my favorite part about jellyfish is that they're largely made up of collagen. So they only contain 25 calories for 6 grams of protein. So if we made like a theoretical pure jellyfish energy bar, it would contain 0 fat and 48 grams of protein. Like, whew. This makes for both a cost-effective food for stores to carry and a cheap source of nutrients for folks lacking grocery funds or even refrigeration, because jellyfish can be enjoyed pickled, dried, or fresh in a salad with vegetables like I have here. We are even going so far as to experiment with making chips out of jellyfish because they have a natural crunch. And so edible jellyfish species are already being fished in very small quantities out of Georgia, South Carolina, Washington, and Texas. But we are surrounded by ocean, right? And we're surrounded by massive jellyfish blooms. This is a major untapped, sustainable, replaceable nutrient source that could relieve hunger for so many if we gave it a chance. So thank you for your time today. Here is my salad. I made it from imitation crab, cucumber, and fresh jellyfish from Korea. I hope this encourages you to hop on the jellyfishing train and learn more about the potential and awesomeness of jellyfish.
Thank you so much, Devon. I never thought I would crave jellyfish, but it turns out I very much am right now.